Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Thank you for your time, spending your precious time today. And we would be happy to have your feedback on your working with Ace Data. So, how long have you been working with Ace Data, and how would you describe your experience in working with us?
See, I know you guys for past 2 years. I met you in a CIO forum, and I was looking for a backup solution in my organization. So we took some time to conceive the solution and then drafting the requirements and then floating them for getting the tenders. Eventually we selected you and we have been working with you for past 1 year.
In this last 1 year, what are the main factors that made Ace Data a consistent and a trusted vendor for you?
See, generally we have seen the tendency to sell the product and run away, and this is typically of the OEMs. With Ace Data we found that a Western product with Indian solution that made us relaxed and comfortable. There have been occasions where you have encountered difficulties, and the resilience and patience that you have shown increased my confidence in you.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, how would you rate the understanding of our products and our ability to guide you in your choice of solution?
I am a happy customer. I can easily rate you 9 or 10 out of 10.
What would be the prime reasons for you to say when you say 9 or 10 for us?
Again, I would repeat the same thing. Your ability to engage with the stakeholders, go down to the atomic level of the problems, look for the solutions, do not very actively pursue the boundaries of your liabilities or your commitments, rather working for the solution of the problems that we have. That is what we liked. Otherwise, generally we have to intervene with number of interfacing agencies and take that pain to get the solution out of the vendors. We did not see that here.
So one of the things which I recall when we initially were in the process of signing up with you, and you had said that most of your IT partners are outsourced partners, and we have to get a part of that ecosystem and get the work done with them as if we are Rajiv Gandhi IT for this particular piece of So how do you rate us when it comes to that? Are working with those partners in that ecosystem in terms of the coordination with them, in terms of collaborating, or so where would you put us in that space?
You fitted in very well. There were least efforts involved on our side, although there were some to start with. Once you got yourself accustomed with our ecosystem and got familiarized with the vendors and teams, the further journey was smooth.
How would you consider us in keeping up the promises made during sales and selection process?
Very well consistent. And this is where I would say that the happiness comes from. You are not a short-term vision person. This is what makes me happy, that without too much caring for the scope and the limit of your work or your commitment, your desire to make us successful and give a solution that gels well along with other vendors, their products, applications. Even in cases where your product did not comply directly with the ecosystem that we had, we have a few applications which are antique and very old technology landscape is used. You did the necessary research. You went back to a SIGRA, to the product company, brought in the experts from wherever outside India, and offered that solution to us without our chasing too much for those problems to be solved. It was a long drawn process. It took long. You kept that patience and did not chase us with invoices or those things. Although I understand that money is also important for success, but that has not been seen as a prime criteria in your business model, and that improves my confidence on your future deliveries also.
So during the process, did you have any major data loss event? And if yes, how were the resources of Ace Data helpful in your recovery process?
I would say we have been fortunate. We have not had any data loss incident in past, but I have heard a lot of horror stories from fellow colleagues, CIOs. I keep meeting, talking, reading, and when that data loss happens, its consequences are disastrous. So obviously everybody is concerned these days for data security and keeping backups and all. So we were also on the outlook for a good solution, which we fortunately found.
So would you in that case say the Ace Data with the Asigra combination, this solution really helped you avoid a lot of hassle which you would have gone through, some major data loss events which probably might have been a case in past before you chose Ace Data?
Certainly. So we were taking backups. It is not that we were completely vulnerable to the problems, but we had scripts and it was a cumbersome process. We needed to do version management, generation management manually, and it was completely person dependent process. Lot of supervision was required, audit was required, and then you are never sure whether the backup that has been taken will be restored when we need it. So the testing of that restoration was also cumbersome, which is given by Asigra Ace Data solution as an automatic assurance to us. So it has really reduced our pain and effort significantly.
What would be the top benefit you would have found working with Ace Data in comparison to other vendors? How has it changed the way you used to function?
In comparison to other vendors, peace of mind is one factor that came during initial couple of months of our interaction with each other, and the responsibility that you have shown has made us comfortable and gave me particularly time to focus on other things rather than worrying on the backup solution too much. Changing the way we were operating, I think it has freed up the bandwidth of checking, validation, verification, supervision, which now the product is doing automatically.
So would you recommend the services of Ace Data to other fellow colleagues of yours?
Of course.
Would you be able to voice a few reasons for this?
I think again, for the fear of repetition, I would say ease of working, your ability to gel with other vendors, suppliers, your lack of ego in terms of your standing, sticking to your chair, reaching out to other partners and working in order to give us the solution. These things are rare. The OEMs have their own big fat ego associated with them, and it is not easy to actually get the whole solution stitched together where 3 or more partners are involved. So this is one thing that we have found good in you, and we can openly admire that.
Would you be able to describe the complexity of your environment to us? Because as you once mentioned that you have legacy applications, the old antique ones. If you could elaborate on your IT environment and what kind of solution you're using.
Of course. So our EHR system, electronic health record system, is running on a legacy technology called MUMS. It is 1970s technology, and there are not many products that really know the data structure of MUMS, that is called globals. So it is difficult to find compatibility with this particular data structure. Similarly, on the HIS side, we are working with the PostgreSQL database. Again, it is an open source, and it is gaining popularity now in the enterprise level application solution. Otherwise, this was more of a research or testing type of organization's database. Running large scale production on PostgreSQL is a very recent trend, and there are not many products that are compatible with us with this particular application platform. The PAX on the other side, that is working on Oracle, so that is a robust and popular technology. But again, PAX vendors have their own method of taking backup, and it is not easy to get that control out of them. So combining them all together and stitching a solution was a difficult task. So we anticipated these problems, and we were very careful while selecting the solution. Products were many, but knowing the challenges that were ahead, we were careful in choosing the right partner who will work in the spirit of providing solution.
In this complexity, I'm sure the data types also will be a lot different kinds.
Of course. As I told you, globals are a very flexible data structure. So you can say that the structure is also defined inside the structure. It is not like relational tables. So it is not very much known other than some old HIS applications, hospital management systems, and some financial management systems also. And there are only 2 providers.
What is the importance of data upkeep and safety in your company? Where does your in your CEO's view, where does data fall? How important it is, and what sort of measures do you take to do this data protection?
See, there are different angles to it. Now, if you talk about billing data, we need it in order to satisfy the audit requirement and financial data upkeep. Now, gradually we are moving from keeping the bills and keeping the asset acquisition and depreciation records, keeping the inventory transactions. Now we are moving towards keeping electronic health record. And in order to provide continuity of care to the patients, security and availability of the patient data is of utmost importance. In addition to security and availability, there is confidentiality, data integrity aspect also. So data security is of primary concern to the top management, and everybody is aware of the importance of data security. And that is why, in spite of having DR solution, we have chosen to have a backup solution as well. Backup is not a substitute to DR, or DR is not a substitute to backup. DR is meant for availability and backup is meant for security. So in case anybody is able to penetrate the data, the network, and is able to destroy the database here, the replication process will make sure that the DR copy is also destroyed, and we are gone. So backup is important, that at any point of time that snapshot is available and we can traverse our journey backward and start from there.
So would there be any recommendations or your feedback to ACE Data wherein they can work on enhancing the experience for you or others more effectively?
Well, I see the attitude very positive, the modus of working very good, commitment second to none. But you can garnish or develop more in-house skills here, so that your dependency on your OEM reduces gradually, and you are able to promptly give the solutions that confront you, the problems that confront you. That is the only thing that I would suggest you should do. Otherwise, it is a happy situation for us so far. We wish you continue doing the same way.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.